I make over $500,000 every single month selling digital products. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I do it, how I sell digital products online. It's changed my life. I have a little daughter, and it's just allowed me to transform my life in so many different ways: financial abundance, time flexibility, all of that. So, what I want to do super quick is just share my screen and show you proof of my income claims here. So, this is my dashboard. I take payments via Samcart. That's the software that I use to sell digital products. And then this is this year. So I set it to this year. And then you can see here in January, I did a little over, like quite almost 600 in January. February was a little lower, but that kind of averaged the two out. And then March we did 550, and then we're not quite done with April yet. And so we're kind of on track again for slightly over $500,000 in April. We're taking website sales as well. So we have almost $100,000 in website sales as well. So technically for the month, we're like actually right around 520 already. But with Samcart as my main platform, I just figured I would show you this. So you can see here, it's been 4 months and we're over $2 million already. And so really easy average is $500,000 a month. And I share that just because I want you to know I actually know what I'm talking about. I have done this for a very long time, and I have actual boots on the ground experience to share with you. So 3 things that you need in order to sell digital products online. I'm going to simplify that for you. Okay. Cause it can feel, hang on, let me put this over here. It can feel really complicated. It can feel really overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? I want to sell digital products. I love the idea of a flexible business. I love the idea of making that kind of money. That sounds amazing, but there's so much. And so my goal for this video, show you how to sell digital products online, but in a way that feels really doable and really simple. And so we're going to break it down. I'm going to kind of chunk it up for you, and it's going to be really good. So first thing that you need 3 things. First thing that you need is a product. Obviously, we're selling digital products. Now, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to score each of these 3 out of 5. So 1 is super easy to do. 5 is really difficult to do. So when it comes to actually creating the product, creating a very good product, that's a 3 out of 5 hard. So it's hard to do it well. It's definitely not easy. I'll get into how to do it a little bit later in this video. But for now, I just want you to know that of all the 3 things that we're going to do, creating the actual product, that's the first thing you need, is a literal product. That's a 3 out of 5 hard. Then we have the second thing that you need in order to sell digital products is you need a checkout page. Now, checkout page, not a website, not a stand store. I made a whole video on like where you need to sell your digital products. Not a website, not a stand store, not Etsy. There's a whole video. You should go find it on my channel and watch it. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. It's going to be really important. Go watch that one. The name of the video is like where to sell your digital products. Go watch that, because you should not have it on a website. You should not have it on stand store. You should have it on a checkout page. That's easy. 1 out of 5. Super easy, especially if you use the software I use. Converts really well. Super easy to set up. Takes all the complication out of it. And it's not a website. You don't need a website. You don't sell on Sandstore. You'll not make any money doing that. You need a checkout page. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Third thing is traffic. Okay. You need eyeballs to look at your page. This, 5 out of 5 hard. If you don't know what you're doing, fortunately, you came across my YouTube channel, so you know exactly what you need to do because you watch all my videos. And in this video, specifically the one we're watching, I'll show you how to get traffic. So I'll show you how to do that. Traffic's the hardest part, right? And the thing that people don't realize when they're going to sell digital products is it's not just about creating the product. It's not just about creating the page. Think of it like I'm building a store, okay? I need a product for my store, like a literal brick and mortar store. I need a product for my store, and I need my store to be ready, right? I need something to go in my store. I need the actual store. That's your product, and the checkout page is like your store. The traffic is how do you get people to your store to buy, right? Because you could have the prettiest store in the world with the best product inside the store, but if you don't have a way to get people to come to your store, you're never going to make any money. And so that's why it's a 5 out of 5. But don't get discouraged, because I'm going to show you what to do, and I'll show you the different kinds of traffic and how to solve that. But just know that most people, they totally miss, hang on, they miss this last piece. So if I cut this. So when they go to sell digital products, they're missing the most important thing. They think, okay, I got a product. I made my little Canva templates. I made my little checklist, whatever I'm doing, my little spreadsheets. Okay, I got my checkout page. Why am I not making money? Because you're missing the hardest, but the most important piece, which is getting traffic to it. And I'm going to show you what to do. So we're going to break down each one of these sections. I'm going to tell you how to make a good product and what's really important. Because again, I've Not only have my products, my digital products gone viral many, many, many times, but my students' products in all kinds of industries and all kinds of niches have gone viral. I have case studies and success stories published to my YouTube channel, and like, which are really good for you to watch because they're like in gardening niches and stuff. So it's like, how she made $32,000 with a 45-page gardening guide. I didn't know you could do that. So it's really good for you to like stretch your mind and watch those as well. And so I know how to, all of that to say, I know how to make a product go viral. I know how to make a really good product. And I want to show you that. Then I'm going to show you how to build a good checkout page and what that looks like. You're going to literally see one of my checkout pages. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to solve the traffic problem, which you're going to realize is actually not that complicated and very doable, but just don't skip it. It's important. Okay, let's talk about product. We want your product to go viral, and we want you to build it once and make money from it over and over and over again. So how do you do that? How do you make a product where people see it and they're like, I have to have it. This is exactly what I've been looking for. This is solving my problem. And they buy right away. That's what you want, because that's how you're going to get the most bang for your buck. If we're going to send a bunch of traffic to the page, we want as many people as possible actually buying from you. So it's this thing, and it's called the price to value ratio. Now, you may have heard this before. Like, okay, it's got to be a really good price. The price to, like, they have to, what they're getting in exchange for what they're paying has to be really, really good. You want people, when they see this ratio, they're super happy and they're like, yay, take my money. How do you do that? Okay, that's the key right there. So how do you do that? In my experience, as someone that's done this a lot, it comes down to one thing. Well, two things actually. One, you need to understand what your potential customers are struggling with. So what are the problems in their life? And it can be as simple, don't have to overcomplicate this. Just go read the comments on the reels in industries that you're thinking about tapping into, right? If you're thinking about making a parenting digital product, go read the comments on parenting reels or parenting YouTube videos or parenting Reddit threads. Go, you don't have to, although I like people to talk to, like, I'd love for you to actually get on the phone and talk to people. I realize that might be like very scary, and I don't want it to be keeping you from seeing the results you want. In fact, you're probably like, no, Maria, I want to do digital products so I can make money and not have to talk to people. So I totally get it. But what you can't escape is doing the market research to figuring out like what are they struggling with? And then what you're going to do to chunk it down even further is you're going to solve one of those problems, one hyper specific problem. So it's not how to be a good parent. It's how to parent 3 children or more, or even like how to nourish, how to handle the emotional needs of 3 or more children. That's like the digital product. And that's going to be crazy to you if you're just getting started, because you might think, oh my gosh, that's so specific, but it is. And that's why it's going to sell. That is why my products and my students' products go viral over and over and over and over again, because they're hyper specific. So I have a ton of videos on my YouTube channel about creating a viral product. I recommend you go look at those to go even deeper and dive even deeper. Products like, okay, that's what I need help with. That's your 3 out of 5, like 3 out of 5 difficulty. I've created a ton of videos on that here on this YouTube channel. So go check those out, because that's going to be obviously the big chunk one. And I've done tons of videos on that. Second thing I haven't done a ton of videos on, I have done some, but it's your checkout page. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to show you one of my checkout pages. Now this, easy peasy lemon squeezy, 1 out of 5, really easy to do it if you're using the software that I use. Software I recommend is called Samcart. Like I said, I have a video on why you should be using Samcart and kind of what to avoid with Etsy and Stan Store and Gumroad, I think is the other one. Like all the ones that people typically use, there's a really core fundamental problem with them, which is why people don't see results from them. So if you've tried the Etsy route or you've tried the Stan and you're like, why is this not working? That video explains why, and that's a more recent video. So if you just kind of go back and look, you can kind of find it pretty quickly. Okay, let me show you what my actual checkout pages look like so you can kind of get a sense of why they work so well. Okay, so let's go to my checkout page here. So this is the highly converting checkout page for me. We're currently running a sale on it, but it just converts really well in general. And I could take you to 1,000. I'll show you a couple pages so you can kind of get the gist here. These are simple pages. Okay, these are not, and if you look at the mobile version of them, so let me just make this really small. Like the mobile version is like it's very simple, right? These are not complicated pages. People, you might think, and I'll pull up another one too here so you can kind of see what another one might look like. Insta-ready. Here's another one. Okay, so my pages all follow a very similar format. Here's one where we're not running a sale. It's very simple, But these, because we use Samcart, there's a couple things that we do right. And because we use Samcart, these are optimized for conversion. And because they're optimized for conversion, let's say that like in general, if you send 100 people to a checkout page, you might get 1 or 2 sales. That's market average, just so you know. Now you know that if I send 100 people to a checkout page, I'm typically will get 1 or 2 sales. Our average is 6 sales per 100 visitors, and some of our pages will give us 25 sales per 100 visitors. That's insane. That's nuts. And when traffic is the hardest part of it, if I'm getting 25 sales for every 100 people to come to this page, I'm solving the traffic problem 25 times better than someone else's, or even 6 times better, or whatever, right? Like even like, because if you're only getting, think about it this way, if I'm getting 6 sales for every 100 visitors and you're getting 1, that's 6 times better. And that's, again, that's our average. And we get hundreds of thousands of visitors to our website, to our checkout pages per month. So this is like at scale, which if you've been doing this for a while, you'll know is mind-blowingly phenomenal. So there's a couple things that we do really well that I want to show you. First thing that we do really well is we keep the focus on what you get. So your checkout page it's very simple, right? Like it's simple on purpose. We've experimented with very complicated landing pages that we spent hours and hours and hours working on, and it did not do as well as these simple little like 2-column pages did. So what is the focus on? Exactly what you're going to get. Now, the language here is extremely important. I recommend you go look at my little course called Words into Money. It's on my website. If you feel like you don't know what to say when it comes to selling a digital product, because this is one of the most important things that you need to know how to do is like, okay, how do you create copy? How do you create words that when they read those words, they want to buy? And I'll give you a pro tip. It's understanding the pain points of your customers. So what are they struggling with? So using our example of like handling the emotional needs of 3 children or more, well, the parent's burnt out. The parent's worried about sibling rivalry. The parent's worried about her marriage, probably because 3 kids plus a marriage is a lot. It just is. She's worried about her middle child, or whichever child is the one that requires the least and might get passed over the most. She's worried about the kid that's constantly initiating fights between the other 2 siblings. She's wondering like how it's going to go and when the bickering will end. She's got so many questions about handling the emotional needs of multiples. What do I do when one child's having a meltdown and we need to leave, but the other 2 were being good and they all get essentially punished because we had to leave the event or whatever, right? Like again, I have 1 kid. I'm not even dealing with this. And like, I can just by the nature of how good I am at copywriting, I can just tap into that. What is that customer probably thinking? You have to do that so that you can write stuff on this page that will actually like solve their problem. So we have the really good copy. We have a couple of other things here. The 5 stars, that's our actual, if we were to go to my actual website, that's the actual, so I can just do that really quick too, just for shits and giggles. You can see here that's this product. It has 5 stars. This is my website, by the way, if you want to grab any other products. It's got 5 stars, 50 customers have reviewed it. My products all have really good reviews. And then we have, so this one we don't have testimonials, but I recommend them being on there. So this one we do have testimonials, which I think is really good. I think it's very important to have testimonials. And then the other thing that we do is this link thing. So there's a couple things here. So you can see this link thing, which just allows people to check out faster. And then we also do, let me refresh here, because we have this thing that pops up when people check out. It's like, it shows that other people have purchased. And I want to make sure that comes up. It's like popping up early. You may have seen it earlier. It will like pop up for the first few minutes of the customer on the checkout page. Let me pull up another one here just so you can see what it looks like. Because this is a really important part of the conversion. This is one of the big reasons why we get, there we go. So let me move. You can kind of see it behind this circle here. This little thing that pops up like, oh, Raymond just purchased Maria's 24 courses for $24. And then it'll pop down. You can see here, there's another one that pops up. Our thing follows the same format all the time. It's what you're going to get, typically a picture, scroll to the checkout. Here's everything that you get. Dun, 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 dun. Place your order now. It's simple, but it really works. And that's really the point that I want to drive home here with the checkout stuff, is that it does not have to be complicated. In fact, the way that you've been making it complicated is why you aren't making sales. But what does that page do? What does that page do very, very intentionally? funnels all your traffic to one decision. Do I want to buy this product or not? That's why it converts so well. You can't click away to my website. You can't do anything except decide, yes, I'm going to buy, or no, I'm not. There's only one option. You don't have the option to buy all Maria's products on an individual funnel page, and that's very important. You have the option to, yes, I'm going to buy, no, I'm not going to buy, and if they don't buy, they click away. That's it. That's why our pages convert so high. That's why Samcart is better. That is why you will struggle to make money with things like Stan Store or any of the other ones. So go watch that other video for more info on that. What I want to do now is I want to tackle the traffic problem with you because this is a doozy. Oh my gosh, okay, hang on. Traffic. Okay. So let's solve the traffic problem. Okay. So there's basically two kinds of traffic you can get. Both of them are really good. We do both. Organic, which is basically like free content. So YouTube would be organic. Instagram would be organic. My email list is organic. It's basically attention, people consuming your content without you paying for it. And then you have ads, which is like you pay for it. Here's what you need to know about both. Both are so much more doable than you think they are. So and I know this because I remember what it was like to feel so overwhelmed by creating content and doing the organic marketing route. I remember what it felt like to be so overwhelmed running ads. Like I must have to be super advanced to run ads. But I'm here to tell you, so first of all, I made $63 in my first year of business. So I started from also knowing nothing. I literally had no idea which way was up. I'm super bad at math. You ask anyone who knows me in real life, they'll tell you that I'm terrible at math. I'm not particularly tech savvy. I've just been able to figure it out. And my goal with making videos like this is to hopefully shorten the learning curve process for you. And so I've been able to figure it out. And that should be encouraging to you. The fact that I only made $63 in my first year of business should be really encouraging to you because okay, Maria spent a year and I worked really hard in that first year and I just didn't do well. My year flopped. It was $63 top line. It was like I made 2 sales and that was it for a whole year. And fast forward to now, I've made over $11 million in cash from digital products and I profit 50% of that. So last year I made $4 million and I literally had a personal income that I had to pay taxes on of $2 million. And so if I can figure out the organic marketing stuff and the ad marketing stuff, you can too. That's my point in saying that. And I want to break it down a little bit further. It's not as hard as you think it is. I think that's the first thing. So let's start with the organic. I want to just say a couple of things about that. I would say 1, start with Instagram. You're going to get the biggest bang for your buck there, especially if you have a new account or you don't really have a lot of followers. I ran an experiment because I got really tired of people telling me, oh, well, it's working for you because you have a big Instagram account. First of all, people forget that I started with no followers, just like everybody else does. But I was like, you know what? Let's just dispel the myths. So what I did is I created a secret Instagram account, brand new. No one knew about it. And I was like, I'm going to do what I teach on this brand new Instagram account and I'm going to see what happens. And I made, so let me find the results because I'm going to pull up the actual data because I tracked all the data on this. Just going to search secret account. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So I posted 14 reels and 3 carousels. And in the first, hang on. In the first week, I got 7 sales for a total of $665. And I reached over 7,000 new accounts in 2 weeks. This is with a brand new account and got an average of 1,000 views per reel. So the lesson here is you don't actually need a lot of views to make sales. And so that's like $665 in the first 7 days is not bad at all. Now, all I did, that was 7 sales in 2 weeks. So $665 in 2 weeks. Sorry, that's what I wanted to clarify with you. Yeah, 7 sales in 2 weeks. So $665 in 2 weeks, but still $600 in the first 2 weeks doing exactly what I teach is not bad at all. Again, they didn't know the account was mine. It had no association with me. It was made with a different phone number, so it wasn't even associated with my main account at all. It was a brand new account. It reached over 7,000 followers, 7,000 new accounts in 2 weeks. So it's not even reaching that much. I reached 15 million accounts in 2 weeks. This little account only reached 7,000 new accounts in 2 weeks and made $665 and got an average of 1,000 views per reel. Why am I saying all of this? Because I have a ton of free content on creating reels to get traffic. If you go on my YouTube channel, there's tons and tons of stuff about leveraging Instagram. You can do this, even if you have a tiny account. That's my main point in saying all of that is you can do this even if you have a tiny account, even if you have no idea what you're doing. Just follow what I teach here on this YouTube channel. Just implement what I teach. Make reels the way I say to make reels. You will see results from it. I did it exactly how I teach it with a brand new account, and I made money right away, and I got followers right away, and I reached accounts right away. So you can do it. And then the other thing that I want you to know is I want to pull up see if I can pull up some testimonials here. Hold on. I wanted to share some. I want to keep focused on the other side of the traffic though. If you are in my Facebook community, I just want you to know, or you go on my channel and watch the success stories of other students who have done this. It's very possible. I think that's the main point that I wanted you to walk away with the Instagram stuff is this organic stuff is very possible, and dive deeper. Use this channel, use the free videos that I've made here to dive even deeper because I made a lot of content on it. Okay, so moving on to ads. I'll just say this, DD stands for dive deeper. Moving on to ads, you can do this. The main thing that I want you to know with ads is you can do this sooner than you think. I have had the biggest limiting belief that kept me back for a very long time is I have to have a really big budget to run ads. But that is not the way we run ads. I'll talk about that in a second. The other thing that I thought is that you have to be super tech savvy and really smart and really good at math to run ads profitably. That is not the case. We create a little tutorial on how we get our ads to pay for themselves. So we run ads for free, essentially, which is crazy when you say it that way, but that's literally what happens is we run ads for free. We'll take $1 and we'll turn it into $3. So the ads pay for themselves and we profit another $2 on top of that. So we run our ads for free, and it's a 5-step thing to load it up. These are not complicated. These are Canva images that we run ads to. It's not complicated. It's super simple. I filmed a video showing you how to do that. Watch that one next. I'll see you there.